Hey everybody, welcome back to another Inner Sleuths live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about verse 5, the Battle for Lyonesse, which is now live over in PAX Day. We got quite a bit to unpack here. I absolutely, definitely want your guys' opinions on a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about here today. That's what this platform is for. It's to have open, honest discussions with you guys about all the news and happenings in and around PAX Day. That's what PaxCast is dedicated for. We're not going to shy away from the things that need to be said, whether they be good, bad, or indifferent. We're going to have those conversations here, but just remember, everything we say is always in good faith. We want the best for PAX Day, and sometimes we have to talk about hard things here. Now, that may not be for everyone, so take it with a grain of salt, but that is how we do things here. Thank you guys for the super chats. We have 2 super chats already. We got Brandon saying, good to see you again and watch vid. Thank you so much, Brandon, for that super chat. Really appreciate you. And we have Amber with a super chat. She says he's back again. We have Salty Veteran with another super chat. You guys are obliterating my super chats. Salty says, yes, a PAX stream. Appreciate all of those super chat guys. Thank you so much for all the support. I'm doing a little bit of a different thing here on the channel. We're switching over to Patreon for most of our exclusive behind the scenes stuff. I'm still going to keep the YouTube channel memberships. I think, at least for now, I'll keep them. I don't know if I'm going to phase them out entirely at some point, but the the way to go is going to be Patreon. Patreon is going to be the way to go. Is Twitch chat working? Yeah, Twitch chat should be working. I can see over there on Twitch, Cat died. I am dual streaming right now. I'm testing out my dual streaming setup. Hopefully everything is functioning well. Let me know how it looks over on Twitch. Let me know how it looks over on YouTube. Twitch will be lower quality. Just because of the upload density, the bandwidth that they allow you is a little bit less over there. But I'm doing my best to get the multi-stream thing up and running, and we will expand from here outward to more and more platforms. Once I get a dedicated streaming rig or dedicated streaming hardware, I'll be able to go to even more. But right now, it kind of pushes the limits of your system when you do these multi-streams like this. Silo, great to see you, man. Thank you for our 4th out of 5th super chat towards our super chat goal. You guys are going to smash the goal before I even finish my intro. I just have a feeling. He says Pax time. I really appreciate you, Silo. Great to see you. But yeah, so if anyone is a channel member here on YouTube, you may want to consider switching over to Patreon. I'm trying to find a way to get recognition for the patrons over here on YouTube, because I know that it's nice to have little stars next to your name and stuff built into the channel memberships and things like that. But I don't like my income being tied to any specific platform. Patreon is independent of Twitch and YouTube and all that stuff, so it allows people to support my work directly. They take less of a cut. Pickle just absolutely came in swinging and slugged the the super chat goal out of the park. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. It is because of all of my patrons and channel members and supporters and tippers and donators, all of you guys, why this place is possible. You're why I'm able to host private servers for everything that we do over at Cheeky Buggers United, including our upcoming Hightail private server cluster, which I'm going to be working very hard on once that comes out. You guys are the reason why we have a Vane server and a Minecraft server and all of that stuff. And thank you for the super chat. And says Pickle stole my spot. Rude Pickle. Hi, Void. I appreciate you guys. Holy crap. You guys are just going crazy today with the super chats. I love it. This is excellent. Pickle says, hell yeah, brother. Thank you for all you do. No, thank you. It's the community that makes it all worth it, you know? And that leads me to my next part. If you guys are looking for an awesome community, you should definitely consider joining the Cheeky Buggers United. We're a full-fledged community, and we even go beyond gaming. I mean, sometimes we just sit down and chat with people about their day and just have a good time. But Cheeky Buggers United is a great place to come and hang out. We play all kinds of games. We play Star Citizen. We play PAX Day. We play Ashes of Creation, Minecraft, Vane. You name it, we have servers for it, and we just like to have fun. Friday nights, we haven't done it in a little while, but Friday nights we normally do Friday night game night. We got all kinds of fun stuff that we do over at Cheeky Buggers United. Now I have a lot to manage here today. Coming up in about an hour, we have an event in PAX Day. I know PvP is kicking off as well with the trees coming online and stuff like that. So there's a lot of moving parts right now. So just bear with me on that. But we are going to be having an event in Bloodhaven, which has been reborn anew by so many people who have put in a lot of effort and a lot of work into the city. So thank you guys so much for all that. My tower looks amazing. The city looks amazing. Everybody who has been contributing, whether it be resources or building or whatever it may be, thank you guys so much for supporting the Order of the Blood Brothers. I have been taking a slight backseat in my PAX Day content because Ashes of Creation came out. We got Hightail coming out. I got a lot of stuff to manage. Rasslin has been really spearheading the entire PAX Day scene. So thank you so much, Rasslin, for all of your help over there. Really, really appreciate you. Appreciate all of your dedication. I appreciate all the officers' dedications. I know that there's going to be people who really, really like PAX Day and they're going to be sticking with PAX Day. And I respect that. And I love that. It allows us to be able to have a thriving PAX Day environment while we do other things as they come online and shift around a little bit. It allows me a lot more free time to be able to do my content where I see fit or where I need to. So I really do appreciate everybody stepping up in that regard. Silo says, but Void, I scare people when I talk. I don't think so. I think people like when you talk. Brendan says, combat loggers. I'm going to do my best to keep up with the chat. While we go through this, I have 2 chats to manage now. I have the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat because we are live in 2 places. Guys, YouTube is still my main home, but I would ask that if you do have a Twitch account, please go and follow Inner Sleuths over on Twitch. You can find all the links and stuff down in the description down below. Salty says, give me some of that voice, Silo. Love it. Boomer says, PvP Lumberjacks. Templar, let's see who we got in chat. We have Templar, Havoc, Blimpy. We got Watson, Brandon, Black Pickle. Who else do we have? We have Salty Veteran. We have Amber. We have Ange. We have Silo. Tons and tons of people. Great to see you guys. Thanks for stopping by the stream. As you guys can see in the background here, we're going to be talking about the battle for Lyonesse. But before we do, I told you about the community. You guys can join the community by typing ! Discord, and that will get you a link over to our community Discord server, the CBU Discord server. If you guys would like to become a verified member, and you'd like to be able to play in all of our clans and guilds and orgs and private servers and things like that, regardless of the game, we have a thing called memberships. You can go over to our website, www.cheekybugger.net, and or type ! Website in chat. That'll get you a link over to there as well. And once you're over there, you can just request access. There's a form you can fill out, apply here, and it'll have a bunch of questions. You fill it out, and that's to become a verified CBU member. Once you're a verified CBU member, we sit down and verify and vet every single person that we talk to. We keep out all the bad faith actors, all the trolls, anyone who means ill will and need not apply, because we will catch you at the gate. We want this place to be a walled garden where every single person, regardless of anything, you are welcome here, as long as you can follow our core tenets of respecting people and being a good faith person and just all around, being nice to people and stuff like that. So everyone's welcome, but you do have to apply to get into that walled garden. But once you're in, you can then join any litany of different memberships as you see fit. Silo says lurking here for you. Appreciate that, Silo. And then if you guys would like to join any of our clans, guilds, or orgs, such as the Order of the Blood Brothers in over there in PAX Day, you guys can, once you get approved into the community, you can click memberships at the top of the website. You can request access to any of our games that we support. We're going hard in Ashes. We have a dedicated group who's going really hard in PAX Day for the PvP push. A lot of cool stuff going on, but that's my spiel. Tune into the event also. I'm going to be recording the event. I'm not going to be streaming the event. So you guys, you know what? No, I'll record it. I was going to say, I did set up my streaming system to where I can hit one button and switch over to in-game, but I think we'll save that for an episode, because it's going to be more of a story that we're going to be telling. You're not going to want to miss this though, guys. I know there's PvP stuff going on, a lot of other things, and people playing Ashes and some other stuff, but you're not going to want to miss this event. It's going to be really, really cool. It's going to be kicking off a multi-month RP series that is going to be led by Lyonesse from the Order of the Blood Brothers. Thank you so much, Lyonesse, for taking up the mantle of running all of the RP stuff. But there's going to be a ton of fun stuff coming out for you guys. So without further ado, we're not running short on time, but we have about an hour before that event starts, so I got to get ready for that. So we're going to go through what the Battle for Lyonesse has in store for you guys. All right, let's start off here with. Let me move this chat out of the way. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm going to put that right there. Let's start off with this video here. They're showing us a little bit of a glimpse. Now, I have my criticisms of this system. There are some things that I don't understand about this system, and I want your guys' opinions on this. Now, I get it. This is where it's hard. They call it 1.0 full release. They say this is a full release of the game. When I envision a full release of a game, I envision it having all of the systems that we're supposed to have in the game. So I can only take it at face value. We can hypothesize. We love to theory craft here on the channel. But keep in mind, I'm coming from a point of this is what we currently have. We can talk about the future and things like that, but this is what we currently have. So they start off, as always, saying, hello, Paxians. After a successful testing phase in the public test shard of Arcadia, that's the public test realm or server over for PAX Day, they put stuff on there normally for like a week or a couple weeks or something like that, sometimes shorter. Sometimes they skip it altogether, like with the plot updates. There's some things that I haven't been able to cover just yet, but they updated the plot subscriptions. We'll touch on that just a little bit. Basically, they added 2 new plot subscriptions and plot tokens. You can now get 6 plots in one subscription or 8 plots in one subscription. If you get the 8 plots, you can have 9 plots total without having to spend anything else other than that one subscription, because you can get the grace plot. And you get a little bit more of a discount on them, which is nice to see, but they're really leaning into the whole plot thing. I don't think that even went to Arcadia. I think that came straight to live. So certain things like that, they just go straight to live. And you can also buy plot tokens now independently if you choose to not do a subscription because you don't like subscriptions. You don't have to. You can buy the plots independently, the tokens independently, and then apply those as you see fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens at a time, however many you want. I think it lets you apply as many as you want. But that was one of the changes. They pushed that right away. And I was kind of laughing a little bit because I'm like, so the ones that generate revenue, they can pump through, right away. I found that kind of interesting. But then some of the content updates, they take a little longer. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to unlock this Discord overlay and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. Now my icon's a little bit bigger in the top corner. When I have guests on, it's nice to be able to see their names there like that. So we did get those changes to the plots. I think that's a great change. I think that's really good. It's going to allow people to, get one token here and there as they see fit. It's still not very cheap for what you get for the game, in my honest opinion, but we can have a conversation about that. But let's get into the Battle of Lyonesse stuff, because that's what you guys are here for today. We're entering into verse 5. Verses for PAX Day are big steps. Normally, they're big steps. They have a lot of impact. They normally change a lot of stuff. But this one is all about PvP. So they're excited to announce that the new content update verse 5 Battle for Lyonesse is now live on all shards. They have the full patch notes, which we will go over together here. Hopefully we have enough time before the event starts. I want to watch this video with you guys though first, and I think you should be able to hear it. Yep, there you go. I want to watch this with you guys because this shows us a little more insight into it. So here they are entering into that PvP gate. You can see right there. This is the spawning soon. It's talking about those trees, those Mornells. These are the trees that you're going to need to harvest to get that exclusive resource that you cannot teleport with, that will be used exclusively to claim the land in PvP out in Lyonesse. You can see the zone that they're in there in the bottom corner. So it tells you when these trees are going to be spawning. This is my first problem with the system. You can see right there, there's the tree. The system in and of itself is pretty cool, but there's no real meaning behind it. We're going to talk about that. So he says in chat, like, the tree has spawned. Okay, let's go. All right, so there they go. They're showing a little mock-up of what this could look like. Here they go. They see the tree in the distance. They stabs him, flips him over his head. For some reason, their friend keeps chopping trees. I don't know why. They don't help their friend there, but I digress. And now they, won it. They're going to go ahead and chop down this tree for themselves. It's going to break apart in this pretty cool animation. Look at that. That's pretty neat. I like that. And there they go. They got 38 Mornwood from that. Now they're going to look for a spot. Do we want that one? That one's unclaimed. It's all grayed out. That one's unclaimed. There's what they look like. Let me go back just a touch here. Hold on. I want to see that platform. I want to show you guys that platform. So here's the unclaimed shrines. There's that platform. This is what you're actually claiming, is be able to build up on this platform. I think you go up to this fire here, and that's where you do your offering. It costs like 50,000 gold. It was going to be 5,000. Then it was going to be 75,000. And then it brought it down to, I think, final verdict is 50,000. And then you can upgrade it and do some other things as well. We did see some screenshots of how it's going to look. Boomer says it gives the opportunity for PvP when everyone knows the spawn. I agree. I mean, it makes sense that people would, want to gather there in PvP and fight over it. My main problem with it is that there's really no point to claiming land out there. And that's what we're going to talk about after we finish watching this little clip here. And it says, let the record show that I probably would have kept chopping the tree too. How else are people going to hear chop chop in the woods? Gotta do my part. So here's the shrine. This is the site that you're gonna be able to claim. And this is the entrance. You go up through the entrance onto your platform up here, and here's where he's gonna make the offering. It says, once claimed, ownership lasts for 24 hours. Shrine level, 0 out of 20. Claim shrine to unlock upgrades. Right here, let's see, shrine level 1 out of 20, 1,248 out of 5,000, and then what is that? 1,400,080. What is that? Is that Mornwood? I don't know. These could just be placeholders, but right there it says upgrade for 5,080 Mornwood. And now that one tree gave however much, so it's going to take several of those trees, according to this footage, to be able to claim or do an upgrade. Let's catch up on a little bit of chat here. Hevik says they're wanting to create flashpoints for PvP encounters, but why would I want to even be there? That's my point. That's my main point. There doesn't really seem to be a system or a reason to be there in the first place. You don't gain any benefit. Holding this site doesn't make your production go faster, doesn't make it use less resources, doesn't make it yield any better material or anything like that. It's just the same as your base in the home valley. You still have to pay for these plots here as well. You have to upkeep these plots. In order, you can have up to like 22 plots, I think they said is the intended goal. They could be prepping for Damascus. I mean, yeah, they could, but I mean, that's all theory craft at this point, right? We just don't know. We're looking at the system and what we're getting with this update. And what we're getting with this update is the ability to claim a site in Lyonesse just for the sake of claiming a site in Lyonesse. My whole thing is I can teleport to the PvP gate for free every hour. I can go into PvP. I can fill my bags during that hour. Once I'm full and have my fill and I'm satiated, I can then teleport home for free back to my house, drop off all my stuff, craft all my things in the comfort of my home, and then if I so choose, I can teleport back because that hour would have elapsed. I can go back to PvP, have my fill again, teleport back home. I don't see a requirement or a need to be there. Oh, well, you're closer. You can just walk out your front. Yeah, but everybody knows where you are. They can camp outside of your house. You can teleport to there, sure, but it costs you 20 grace, whereas it's free to go back home. I don't really see the point. And let me know if you guys see a point that I'm not seeing. There is that very minor convenience of being right there. But again, to teleport home is free. It's very easy. You could just boom, I'm home every hour. You can just teleport home, teleport back, go back and forth, back and forth. I don't see the purpose to be out there. That's true. They may add some reason to be there in the future, but as of right now, there's really no reason to have a house out there other than to whop your wad on the counter and be like, look at me, we're the big boys in town, just for the sake of prosperity, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to catch up on your guys' chats here too. Not steel, pure iron, you mean? Frederick says, I agree, no point to have a base in Lyonesse for now. And that's the main thing. It could just be for now. I'm not trying to just, dog on the system, but I have to look at things as what they are right now, what we have right now. What we have right now is a system that I don't really see a point to going out there. Sure, if you like PvP and your main goal is just simply to fight people, you found the system for it. This just gives you a reason to fight people, but you can fight people anyways, right? You can just go out there and then teleport home. Another thing that I have a problem with it is these Morn trees, they're in the same spot every time. They're not random. So people know when they're going to spawn and where they're going to spawn. They know where your base is, where you're going to be bringing your resources back to. So they know exactly where to camp out on both ends. It makes you so easy to ambush. I don't really see a point. Now, some people were saying, well, maybe they want to sell the Mornwood, so they're going to take it home and then they're going to put it on the market to sell to people. Sure, but again, why would somebody want to purchase it unless they simply want a PvP site just for the sake of having a PvP site? Because you cannot teleport with the Mornwood. Keep that in mind. It is a no teleport resource. Maybe in the future they make a lot of the other stuff no teleport as well, which then makes having a base out there more incentivized because now you're closer. You don't have to run back to the gate. But people are going to know where you're going, where you're coming from, what times you're going to be there. I mean, it's ambush central. They're going to be waiting for you to just to gank you. It's going to make your life a living hell pretty much out there. But let's continue the video and see what else they want to show us here. And then we'll have more of a conversation about it. So you can see the build zone around it. You see that? Now, according to what we've heard, you have to pay for these plots. Havoc says 22 plots is bigger than most cities in the home valleys. Yes, but you're going to have to pay for each of those plots is my point too, So you have to pay real money. You'll have to have a subscription and afford those plots according to what we last heard. Unless something changed in these patch notes, which we're going to read through them. We got about 45 minutes until this event starts. But I just don't see the point. What's the point? Blimpy says it can be sold though. Yeah, you could sell the Mornwood, but again, the only people who are going to be buying are the people who find value in having a base out there. But again, you can teleport in for free, teleport out for free every hour. What's the point, right? Boomer says, true, but I think they understand that, to be honest, it isn't a full rollout in my opinion. I mean, it could be, but again, the game's full release. I'm done giving them grace for the game being early access or alpha. The game's full release. This is a full released product that is missing a lot of systems. The moment they went to 1.0, their game's no longer early access. It does not have the afforded grace of it being considered an early access game. They are charging you money monthly, a lot of money monthly, depending on, like I have to hold the whole city pretty much. That's going to be like 40, 50 bucks a month for me to be able to enable my clan to have the spaces they need to do stuff. I'm done affording them the opportunity of saying, and the grace of saying, hey, this is early access, right? This is full release. They should not be rolling out updates that do not have all of the systems in place. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, right? And I think that, unfortunately, this update really, it's cool to see these systems be put in, but they just don't make sense. What is the purpose? And I'm actually wanting to know what that purpose is. But, I think we can't really sit down and say, well, they're going to fix that later. If it was early access, absolutely. And I've given them a lot of grace when it came to the early access stuff. And I'm not here to just dog on it. Don't get me wrong, guys. love the game, want it to succeed. I think that's where a lot of the aura of depression really comes from around PAX Day is people want so much for it, right? So I'm looking at it as this is a full game. They're charging me money monthly. Again, you can play for free as a player. You don't have to pay monthly, so keep that in mind. But as anyone who wants to do any of these systems or engage with any of this stuff, they're charging you monthly to do these things. I have to compare that to other subscriptions for other games and things like that. I just have to be completely transparent and honest with you guys about these things. So keep that in mind. Full-fledged game. Absolutely full-fledged game here. There's your zone that you're going to get to build in, presumably. Now, they only built up on top of this because I think you can close that gate there. And now you can see it claimed. Oh, okay, so that zone, that's where you can place your plots within the zone. I stand corrected. I thought that was the zone. That wasn't even the zone. That zone is what you're allowed to place your plots inside of. And it's, I guess, according to what they're saying, you can fit around 22 plots inside of that big zone. So keep that in mind. That is where you're going to be able to place your plots inside of it. Up on this big platform, it looks like it's 4 to 6 plots maybe up on that big platform. So this is where you're going to place down your plot, and then you can build inside of it. And you have to maintain the subscription for that plot. There they go. They place it down, and now they can build. And there they have because their plot's like over in this circle area, in that little corner. They only put 1 plot there. None of this is claimed according to where they placed their little plot. And now they have their little castle inside of there with their chests and maybe their smelters and whatnot. Again, why do you need to do that? It's cool, like to just say, hey, I'm out there, but why do you need to actually be out there when the better alternative is just to teleport out there, get your stuff, teleport home? Something to think about, guys. But there they are. And they're showing that you can teleport to the shrine. It's not free. If this was free, at least if it acted like a PvP gate and it was free to teleport to, and then you could teleport out of there, or whatnot, I would be a little more understanding, but it's not even free to teleport to. It costs you 20 grace to even get there. So you teleport from your main house to the PvP gate for free. Then you go into PvP. Then you teleport to this site for 20 grace. The grace is it's stacking up. It's becoming expensive, all for what? Again, your grace costs gold. All of these things cost time and energy and effort to acquire. What is the reason? Why not just teleport home for free? Boom, there they are. So now they're at their site. And, I know I keep pausing here, and we don't yet have the Feudalistic Alliance system. They talked a little bit about that, but again, it's a full release game. We need these systems to be online if they're going to be online. So once we get the feudalistic alliances, it makes a little more sense because now you can cooperate and work with people out there in order to secure a stronghold and, have this whole dynamic system, but we're just getting what we're getting, right? We're not getting all of those other systems. Here's some of the new cosmetics that we're getting as well, which this is great. We've needed this stuff for a long time. I'm not really sure why it took so long to get candles and plates and stuff in, but we are getting a lot more little clutter and beautiful things. I think all of this looks great. I love all of this. There's not one thing here that I'm like, hey, why are we having that? Look at those little candles you can set on the ground. We got new rugs and stuff. Very, very cool cosmetics. I think that's one of the things that PAX Day does the best. I think one of the things that they really, really excel at is having a homey feeling where you can go back to your house and role play, which we're about to do here within the hour. We're going to go and role play some fun events and things like that. I think that's what it really does the best. And that's why I think it's interesting the direction that they're going with the whole PvP system. The vast majority of people that I interact with, the PvP is kind of a secondary. There are a couple groups I've talked to, PvP is their main focus. Without the full loot, without all these things being how they are, those couple groups wouldn't like it that much. But all these cosmetics look great. There you go, you get a little closer up of the spoon and these jars and jugs and plates and stuff. Looks excellent. There's another little example. You can have the little stools and put candles on them. Beautiful, beautiful ambiance. Little wagons. Another little candle on a bench thing out here. Looks like a step stool. That looks different than the stools that we have. That looks like a little step stool there. Wall candles, love this. We can finally do away with those sconces and have some nice, proper lighting. The The lighting from the sconces is way too harsh in my opinion. The table lamps are the only way to go. Those and the antler chandeliers. It's going to be really nice to have some more lighting options, to have some more immersive ambient spaces. You see little baskets and stuff up at the top. Look at this. It's beautiful, beautiful clutter. I absolutely love it. We've needed that stuff for a long time now. Here you can see that triple candlestick. You can see some tall wardrobe style thing on the right-hand side there. A double candlestick on the wall, single candlesticks. I love this. All of this is great. Let me know what you guys think about these different cosmetics. And there you have it. That's their little overview of that. Boomer says, wouldn't control of ambergris and candidnite be important? The spawns would need to be protected. I mean, if you're going to be sitting out there 24/7, just simply protecting those spawns across the entirety of the zone, those things are everywhere. They're literally everywhere. And it's easy to get them. Again, you just teleport to the PvP gate, run out into PvP, fill your bags, and then teleport home for free. All that teleporting is free in between there. Every hour, you can do that for free. So you can do as many runs as you need to collect as much as you need. And those things respawn really quick. You're not sitting out there and camping all those spots, right? But I understand what you're saying, that those are kind of important to get. Yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't restrict you in any way. Why do I need to? Because remember, if I'm at my base out in PvP and I go and collect ambergris and stuff, and people find out that I'm out there, they know where I'm going back to. They know I'm going back to my PvP gate, right? Whereas if I'm going home, I can just teleport back to my Petra for free. I could just zip out of there, fill my bags, and I zip out. If I go out there and from PvP, I got to fill my bags. I got to run back to base to drop the stuff off, to process it, to enchant gear and stuff. I can do all that enchanting and stuff at home. I don't need to do it in Lyonesse. So what is the purpose of having the base out there? That's what my main concern comes back to. So they say they like to thank all the people for the testing phase, make the adjustments to the gathering feedback and stuff like that. They have a dedicated thread. We have our feelings about their feedback channels, but we've talked about that before on the channel. Resource control from the zone itself is the only thing I can think of currently, but there's so many. You're not controlling that whole zone, right? I don't think you having this PvP zone base does not all of a sudden prevent anyone from just walking around and collecting stuff out there, right? You're not going to have this massive presence with, let's be honest, there's like, what, 3,000 people across all servers. That's 500 people per server pretty much playing PAX Day right now. You're not going to hardly even see people out there. Every time you go out there, you hardly even see people, let alone try to stop them from collecting resources. I just don't really see that being the thing that people are going to focus on. Resource control is difficult when everything respawns so quickly. Yeah, I mean, and it comes back up so quick. You're not going to be able to stop people from gathering those things. You can try and hunt them down out there to make them want to maybe go to a different zone to try and collect it. But again, teleport in, teleport out. Easy peasy. They say it's time to rally your friends and clanmates and set foot in Lyonesse with the mysterious morel trees are going to be spawning. Harvest them as soon as they appear, race towards a shrine to claim it to begin building in this. And this is my problem as well. PAX Day gave us like a week or two announcement when the game came out to full release. Ashes of Creation and other games, they give you like months in advance whenever they just do an update. Hey guys, Harbingers is coming out next month on this day. PAX Day is so short notice with stuff. I was talking with our PvP Alliance people from the Bastion Concord, and everybody was so surprised. They're like, I cannot believe that they just dropped this out of the blue. This is important to some people. And some people take off work to go to these things and launches and stuff. We had Ashes of Creation yesterday. We had people take off work to try and get in on day one on the servers and stuff. That stuff's fun for people. So to just have this drop out of the complete blue, no warning, no preparation or anything, they do stuff on such short notice. Havoc says, I think it will turn into bandit camps and gank clans to stash ill-gotten loot. Maybe, but again, all that stuff can just be teleported home. You know, you can just zip zap, take the stuff back, and it's free. So, I don't know. We can't wait to witness first scrimmages, but here's the thing. Mainframe, we know that Mainframe wants to incite conflict and drama and those things. They've said it before in their own words. They love the drama and the conflict that arises from these things. Hydrating the streamer here, 1 second. Now, I do agree. There could be, in the future, more fleshed out systems are going to be added onto this. But I think right now it's just an ego thing. It's just, hey, look at us, we control this zone. There's really no need to. I mean, could Blood Brothers go out there and if we all came back in force and everyone was wanting to play PAX Day and we just took over the zone, and yes, but why? I know we're going to have the Bastion Concord. We're going to work together with them, and we're going to do it to some degree with our allies and with our friends and stuff. Even they're saying, like, I don't really see the reason, but we'll do it anyways just to test it out and test the systems. And I completely agree with that. Treat it like, if you want to treat it like it's early access and go test the systems and have fun with it and experience it, absolutely. I forgot to tell you guys about Tangia, and I don't think Tangia is paused, is it? No, Tangia is not paused. Okay, good. If you guys want to interact with Tangia, I know it just put the message in there. It got deleted by Streamlabs. Streamlabs deleted, Stream Elements deleted the message from Streamlabs. I got to stop my bots from fighting, but they were talking about Tangia there. Aren't the respawn times 4 hours? I don't know what the exact respawn times are. We'll get into the patch notes here in just a moment, and we'll go over that really quick with you guys. Well, let's see. So they want to witness the scrimmages in the merging PvP zone. They talked about the feudal sovereignty system. Let's go over that just a touch really quick. So this is where they were talking about claiming the trees and stuff, how you'll be able to close the gate. You have to keep the gate closed. You can teleport to your home place or your shrine in Lyonesse for 20 grace. It's going to gain 12 new feudal shrines claimed by clan elders and aldermen. Claiming a feudal shrine site costs gold and Mornwood. So they scrapped the whole thing of knights, I think. I think the whole knights thing is out the window because now they're saying that clan elders and aldermen will be able to claim it. So I think that's going to be replacing that. Host up to 22 plots. It's going to cost you 20 grace to get there. There's the shrines, the Mornwood. Here's the spawn times for the trees. Mornell trees will appear on regular intervals between specific times depending on the day. So Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thursday and Saturday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now, so this is kind of interesting. I like that they're actually doing this where there's like prime time windows. V-Rising does a similar thing, except it's controllable by the server host. You can set PvP enables at this time, castle raids enable at this time. They can both disable independently. You can pick and choose how you want the systems to be, and I really, really love V-Rising for that, how they let you have the full-fledged customization of that. Boomer says the spawns would be time-gated at locations known. Feudal sovereignty systems got stripped back so damn much that I lost interest in it all as a concept. Yeah, the whole night and we were supposed to get PvP coming out to the wildlands and then to the over the home valleys and stuff. I don't know if any of that's still even happening, but here's the times and you can see that those will spawn. They talk a little more about morel trees come in 3 sizes, so there's be different sizes of those trees to harvest, and they'll have different yields, obviously. They have a hardness of 3. They'll take a very long time to chop. Then here's the feudal shrines. There they are. Here's a little glimpse into the UI here, a little bit bigger glimpse into that. Oh, this is saying he has 107,000 gold out of 5,000. So this person has 107,000 gold out of the 5,000 needed, and then they have 150 of them of the tree of the whatever it's called, Mornwood trees out of 80 that they need. Next level plus 1 plot. Oh, okay. So the plots, that's what's going to be. You're limited to your plots. So you're going to have to pay a crap ton of this stuff just to be able to increase your plots out there too. Again, all for what? Why do I need 2 plots out there? Why do I need 3 plots out there? I'm not sure. Deebs, how's it going? Welcome on over on Twitch. I don't think my Twitch chat shows up on overlay yet. It says, I'm on the C server. The patch dropped during our tree timer. Was only 2.5 hours left of the timer. Mostly only small trees spawned every 30 minutes in 2 locations around the map. Small trees only dropped 20 Mornwood total. So there you go. There's a little more insight into it. It dropped. Their update dropped when their trees were live. It was during their live time, which I think is unfortunate as well. They should have staggered these things properly for the servers that they were going to be on. But that's really interesting. So the small trees drop 20 Mornwood only. And you can see here you need 80 just to get the 1 plot. Medium tree was 60. Okay. I appreciate that info. That's really great info. And thanks for stopping by the stream. If you guys are not yet followers over on Twitch, I'd greatly appreciate a follow. And over on YouTube is my main platform. Drop a sub. Help us reach that sub goal. But Deebs, that's really great information there. I appreciate that. Havoc says, we was planning so much around it, hoping to bring small clans together in a coalition. Now the small clans' only hope is to get absorbed into a larger clan. Yeah, it's kind of a shit show. I'm not going to lie, guys. But there's a little glimpse into the UI there. And then they have their Q&A about that. But that is, let me go back over here. Please note that balance related to the Mornells and shrines, which was changed temporarily in Arcadia for testing purposes and has now been rolled back. The update going live uses the intended balancing where the Mornell hardness and health are higher than during the test, and the shrine claiming costs are back to 200 wood and 50,000 gold. So it's going to take you 200 gold to claim the shrine, or 200 of the wood to claim the shrine, and you only get like 20 from the small trees and 60 from the medium trees. Maybe it's 120 from the bigger trees or more. Maybe it's 200 from the big trees. Who knows? But they're going to take forever to chop down. So keep that in mind. A lot of gold, a lot of wood just to claim it. All for what? All right, let's go on here and see. So verse 5 also brings several gameplay crafting updates plus new signs. So the chests, I did hear that the chests actually changed sizes. They're actually bigger now, but they're a little harder to make, which has been, from what I've heard from the few people I've talked with about that already, is well received. We're also getting all of these new signs. We're getting all of these new rugs and stuff. I'm happy to see a rug without the head. Now we can put these rugs down and not get bumped up on the skull of the bear all the time. This is going to be really, really nice. These all look beautiful. I love them. And then the Yule game in-game celebration is around the corner as well, which we will do a dedicated little stream about that. Blippy says, so it's higher than hardness 3 now. No, I think it's still hardness 3, it said. I think it's still hardness 3, at least from what I read there. So that's their little post about that update. Let's go back to the news panel page here. And here's the release notes. Now there's a lot of stuff here. There's a ton to go over. They start off as always, hello Paxians. You can find more information about the game content and mechanics on our website. You're there, or on our Discord server, our community resource site. So they point you in the right directions, which I appreciate that because they're letting you know that there may be more information in these other places. Before, not everybody uses Discord, and that was one of my big gripes as well. Not everybody uses Discord. So hey Deebs, thanks for that follow over on Twitch, man. Appreciate you. And the problem is that if you're only using the website and you're not on Discord, you're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff. So now at least they tell you that you may be missing out on some stuff, which I can appreciate. I can respect that. We already watched that video. Let's get into the release notes here. This is going to be where we're going to be spending the rest of our time, is reading over these. So the release notes are the new resource the Mornwood trees are in, which you can get from the Mornell trees. They only appear in Lyonesse. Be careful. Fast travel is disabled while carrying that wood. But again, shouldn't really matter that much if you're using that wood in Lyonesse anyways. German 3D Printing Nerd says, hi there, my lord. Great to see you, Crash. Hope to see you at the storytelling hour starting up here in less than a half hour now. We're going to be starting up that event. It's going to be a very, very fun event. You guys are not going to want to miss it. It's going to be in Bloodhaven, out back by the Sanctuary of the Fallen. We have a nice area set up that Lyonesse has so graciously built. Thank you so much for your time and efforts there. It's going to be a fun event. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's see. So these trees are very scarce and appear only in the world during regional peak game hours in the evening. You'll see the spot where the tree is about to appear in-game in the map Lyonesse and a set amount of time before it spawns. So there you go. There's your timers again. The trees are very tough and have a lot of health. Fully harvesting one will likely require substantial effort from many players. However, Mornwood is given in stages. Okay, so you don't have to chop the whole thing down to get anything. It will go in stages. You have to reach a stage. So if you get pushed on while you're trying to chop it down, you're not going to really get anything. Now, I wonder if there's 10 people harvesting it, does it take the resource and divide it by 10 and put it into each of their bags? Or does the person who started first have it all go into their bag when it reaches that stage? But that's why it has stages. Because if someone pushes on you, you can choose to retreat with what you've already gotten and let them have the rest of what's there. Things like that. Lyonesse will gain 12 new feudal shrines that only a clan elder or alderman can claim. So again, those clan elders, those are really becoming the knights, so to speak, which again, that's unfortunate. I'd like to have seen the full-fledged system. Crash says, I'll be going to bed soon. No worries, buddy. Havoc says, can't go fast when you got Morningwood. Final chop gets it. Blimpy says, okay, so the final chop of the stage for the tree. I don't know I think you're just going based on how it is right now for trees, but these might act differently because they have those stages. I would expect it to maybe be different. We don't know. We'll have to see. Deep says over on Twitch was 10 stages. Small dropped 2 per person who did the last hit at the end of the stage. Okay. We didn't get to the medium tree. I gotcha. That makes sense then. So the last person who gets the hit on each of the stages will get 2 per stage. Interesting. That's not a lot, and it's going to take a lot to claim it, as you guys seen. It's given in stages. Chopping down the tree would take much longer. Oh, they're saying if you were to chop down the entire tree, it would take much, much longer. They're going to get the 12 feudal shrines, claimable by the elders, with storage for up to a week's worth of upkeep. So you have to put upkeep in there to keep them active. Claiming a feudal shrine allows you to place 3 plots. Okay, so you can place 3 plots on the site, but again, you got to pay for those plots. If you want to upgrade your site to be able to place more plots, you have to get more resources and a ton more gold and stuff like that and dump it into it, like we've seen in the images there that we saw. You can set feudal shrine that your clan has claimed at your Petrame home, and can use the spell that costs 20 grace to travel there. So I'm not sure why you would do this. Again, you can set it as your home, and then you can Petrame there, but it's going to cost you 20 grace, whereas you could go back home and have it be for free. So go in for free, get out for free, or do all this stuff to claim this site that's going to get you no benefit and then pay more. It's just a flex, right? You're just flexing at that point. Arcadia temporary balance change notes. We're not going to read much of that, I don't think. This is all for the test realm. We're talking about live patches here. Patch notes, PvP Lyonesse. You can now acquire Mournwood. They have, let's see here. You can use Mournwood along with gold to control 1 or more of the 12 feudalistic shrines. So you can actually claim more of these shrines. You don't have to just take one. Deeb says over on Twitch, small took about 4 to 5 minutes and 10 people cutting to cut. That's kind of crazy, actually. That's, if that many people cutting, that's kind of quick. But if you don't have 10 people, I mean, that's going to take you a long time to chop those trees down. That's really interesting insight, though. Thank you so much for that, Deebs. Appreciate all the information there. Shrine can be upgraded, allowing for more building and feature upkeep system. Lyonesse map has been updated to show the shrines along with the heraldry of the controlling clan and the trees when they're going to spawn there. While holding it, you cannot use fast travel, including unstuck, so you can't unstuck with it as well. So if you get stuck while you're carrying it, you're going to have to throw it on the ground, which that's kind of, it's good that they did that, but think about it. What if you actually legitimately get stuck? You're not going to be able to unstuck because you have the wood on you, which makes sense. They don't want you to be, I think the unstuck should be different. It should like move you just like 5 feet or something like that and actually get you unstuck. I don't think it needs to teleport you to the home shrine, but I digress. You're not gonna be able to fast travel at all with it. Logout time in Lyonesse has been expanded to 60 seconds. So if you basically take damage now, you have a combat logout timer, which is nice. It still doesn't prevent people from like running around a corner, hiding, and then teleporting out right away, or logging off. As long as you're not in combat. Here's the thing. What determines if you're in combat? If I see you and I start running towards you and you just Alt F4, what happens? Because it says logout timers and lines have been expanded to 60 seconds. Oh, and so it takes you 60 seconds to log out and resets if damage is received. So as long as you hit them, if they Alt F4, you have a minute to reach them. And then as long as you hit them before that minute, they stay logged into the world. So keep that in mind, 60 seconds. I thought it was like 60 seconds from being in combat, but it's not a combat timer so much as it is, but it's also a logout timer in the zone. Havoc Prime says, just have to dump the wood on the ground to unstuck. Right, but that's like, if you're wanting to do this system, it's very, very expensive to do that and a lot of time consuming and risky, to dump the stuff on the ground like that and just waste it. But it is what it is. If you need to unstuck, you need to unstuck. Doors require players to be members of the controlling clan when placed on a plot near a shrine. They're going to be introducing something similar outside of Lyonesse. I'd love to see that already outside of Lyonesse. We've been saying that for a long time. People have been trolling people by going and just sitting at their tables while they're trying to have an event and trolling people who are trying to role play and stuff like that. So it's nice that they're going to be allowing you to lock doors, but it's only coming to PvP at first. I don't know why. Just put it everywhere. Remember, this is a full game, right? This is not early access anymore. Blimpy says, Winston is sleeping on part of my keyboard. I can't access my escape key. Oh no. Let's see what else we got here. An issue that sometimes flagged players for PvP upon entering Lyonesse. That was a big issue. People were exploiting that. They were killing people right when they teleported in. It was a shit show. What else do we have in here? Gameplay changes. You'll now only experience the 20s weapon switching cooldown when equipping a weapon that is different than the last one you equipped. So if you switch from a great axe to a great axe because yours broke or something, you don't have to have that 20-second switch cooldown, which I think that's nice quality of life. You can now sheath your weapon, equip bows and or tools, and then draw your weapon again without incurring a cooldown. Now, keep in mind, I don't really think this should apply to bows because I think personally that bows should be their own weapon, but they're not. They're a tool. That's why they're equipping. That's why they're having that included in with tools, right? You can also equip a weapon of the same type without incurring the cooldown. For example, you can swap between your mace and bronze mace, so it doesn't matter the type or the quality of it. You could basically swap between the divine staff and the staff of the Zephyr. Will incur a cooldown because the two staffs have different spells. But if you're going from a bronze mace to an iron mace, no cooldown. It's kind of interesting. That doesn't really make too much sense to me. I think that in PvP that could be abused. People are going to have like a crappy weapon in their hand. People are going to see that and be like, oh, they only have their weapon skill up to this. And then they enter combat, they pull out their good weapon and then beat the crap out of you with it. So that's kind of a problem. I think that it should incur a cooldown. The whole idea behind the realism of it incurring a cooldown is you have to like put that weapon on your back. Oops, I just bumped my microphone. You have to put that weapon on your back and then you have to pull out the new one, which that takes time. You got to put the old sword away, pull out the new sword, you know? So I'd like to see that changed back. I think honestly that's kind of cheesy in my opinion. Those things should require you to incur the cooldown in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that though. This is an open platform. I want to hear what you guys have to say about these things as well. I know we're kind of going quickly through these because we got that event starting here in just over 15 minutes. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't want to miss it. What else did they do here? Fix for NPC spawning issue that caused NPCs in dungeons to be extremely rare. That's really good. We're gonna have to see if that actually works because the named bosses, you could clear the dungeon 6 times and not even see a single one. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see those NPCs a little bit more. Fix an issue where the valet of the chamber was accidentally showing up in a place where it shouldn't have, so they fixed that. Cultists have heightened security and more protective of their piles of loot. That's good because yeah, people were still able to cheese those loot piles and just, again, now that the game's live, all these exploits are exponentially important. If Mez Fireball was in the game right now, the economy would absolutely destroyed. They'd have to wipe and roll back and do all kinds of stuff if they wanted to get rebalanced again. So it's nice that they are trying to make these things balanced. Let's see, what else did they do here? Cave populations have been bolstered and rearranged. I saw pictures of this. They're actually worse. They made the spawns terrible. They're insane now. They don't make any sense. There's stuff still spawning up top, spawning down, weird things spawning in weird places, huge groups of things in corners and whatnot. So hopefully they can get that sorted there. Rumor says, down in the gameplay balancing, they talk about how NPCs are going to be the primary sources of Canaanite and control the NPC locations would be the deal. And that makes more sense control-wise. But again, I mean, you're not going to be sitting at all of those POIs, right? Tell me the honest truth. Are you going to go sit outside of the 25 different POIs that have the NPCs that are having those resources, or the litany of them that are littered throughout the random woods and guard those NPC spawns? I don't see that happening. People are going to teleport out there for free. They're going to run around in the woods, kill all those dudes, collect all the Canaanite, collect all of the ambergris from the NPCs. They're going to get their inventory full. They're going to teleport home for free. I don't see how having land out there, and tell me some more ideas on how you think that having land out there will be beneficial in that case. Because again, even if I wanted to protect those things or guard them, I can teleport out there for free and then guard it while I'm there, and then teleport back home for free when I don't want to guard it anymore. When you have to walk back to a specific house, people know exactly where you're going to and from, When the camp bosses drop 100 plus at a time, I damn well might. Well, that is something to consider. Now, if the bosses are dropping you large influxes of them, but even then, you're not really going to know when they're going to spawn or where they're going to spawn or how often they're going to spawn. Like that's so much. You're going to have to just spend your entire time playing video games, sitting there watching for that boss and just trying to kill anyone else who's coming. And people are going to know you're waiting there. So they're going to be like, oh, we know this group has 10 people guarding this thing. Well, we're going to come with 20, wipe them, and then get the boss anyways. I don't know. Tell me what you think about it. We need more population. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, 500 people on each server, if that, is not ideal, obviously. So the Zebian cultists have been rearranged in the dungeons. Fixed an issue where multiple players could sit on pre-placed chairs. That was kind of weird. Fixed an issue where creatures in the caves would spawn in unreachable places. They definitely spawn in reachable places now, but their spawns are really, really wonky. Demonic trees from the corrupted plains biome no longer interactable. That's good because that was just a weird bug where you could see that. Here's the game balancing stuff that you're talking about now. So the resource balancing has seen some quite significant changes, as you can read below. We'd like to highlight that while the number of spawn nodes in specific cases is now less than before, the total harvestable resources are up across the board for all resources due to respawn timers being faster. So keep that in mind. XP from elite and bosses enemies has been increased by 18%. That's wonderful. We've been grinding. We'd probably all be maxed out on stuff if we had that extra 18% from every single kill. Elite enemies deal more damage, especially elite cultists and demons. Now, they already hit so hard. It's going to be interesting to see. I think they may be balancing it for the end game gear a little more. Now that people are in steel, now they're upping this stuff because it's gotten too easy for us. But what about the early game people? They're not gonna be able to go back into these places now because it's gonna be too difficult for them. Enemies should lose interest a bit sooner. That's great to see because they would chase you to the ends of the earth. Pure iron found outside Lyonesse has been slightly increased. So again, now even less of an incentive to need to go to PvP because PvP, the resources that were exclusive to there, like this pure iron was never exclusive there, but it spawned in great numbers there, and it still will spawn in great numbers there, but it's been increased outside of PvP. Respawn timers with most resources were significantly shorter, so now things are going to be respawning in areas a lot faster. It's going to, you're going to mine something, it's going to come back really quick. It's going to make your daily trips out to get resources a little bit easier on you there. The previous verse accidentally distributed significantly more pure iron and cotton to Lyonesse than intended. The number of spawn nodes has been reduced. So again, now they're reducing the resources, thus reducing your need to go out into Lyonesse. So keep that in mind. Lyonesse now spawns all resources that are available in the wildlands, so you can get everything in Lyonesse, which is nice. But if that's going to be competing with their spawn nodes for a lot of these other PvP exclusive resources, that could be a problem if you're going out there for those. Maybe harder to find what you're looking for if there's, more things in the pool that can spawn there. Enchanting resources spawning on the ground in Lyonesse has been reduced from 4 to 2 nodes, so half as much. Keep that in mind. In the patches, they're going to come back faster. So let's say you find a patch of Canaanite. There normally was 4 nodes there. Now there's going to be 2, so there's half as much, making your blessing that much more important. But it sounds like they come back faster. So I don't think it's really going to make all that big of a difference, to be honest. Enchanting resources dropped from the loot from NPCs has been increased significantly, and the chance of dropping 0 enchanting resources, a resource loot, was removed from the residual collector, reaper, and hoarder. An issue causing collectors, reapers, and hoarders to be much less likely to spawn than intended has been fixed. So there's going to be more of those NPCs, and now they say increased significantly. We don't know what that means. There's going to be less chances of them spawning with 0, or that was removed. They're always going to have something because the chance of them dropping 0 enchanting resources was removed. We just don't know how many more of them are there and how much more of it are they going to drop. That's the real question. But they are leaning towards you have to fight the NPCs now. But again, teleport out to PvP, fight the NPCs. They're all over the place. And get your bags full, teleport home for free. What else do we have here? Increased durability and lifetime of weapons, tools, and shields by 33%. Decreased lifetime of armor by 33%. That's really interesting. So your armor is going to break 33% faster, but your tools and weapons and shields are going to last 33% longer. Interesting trade-off there. Probably a good balance overall because the armor lasts forever, and that does make sense. I noticed that the tools and weapons and stuff were breaking a lot faster. So this will mean that you don't need to bring 37 weapons to a dungeon. Now you just need to bring, you just need to bring 15. Loot and loot piles have improved significantly. You can now expect to get more gold. Now remember, that gold is split amongst your group. So you're going to be getting more gold, which means more gold group-wide. Some stacks of valuable materials, faction relics, and reasonable chance to get rare relics. So that's good. Those needed an overhaul for the longest time. They were just dropping crap. You'd get like a sewing needle. They were mainly about the gold. Now they may be a little bit more about the actual drops. NPCs no longer drop nubuck leather. Instead, they may drop suede leather or better. Changed some ability cooldowns for NPCs that affect their behavior in different ways to make them a bit more tactical and fight against. Now, that's pretty interesting. I definitely want to be checking that out because that was one of the biggest holdbacks of the combat in the game was just the NPCs. They were just so buggy. Hopefully they're not as buggy, but they were just so bland, right? There was no boss mechanics and stuff, and hopefully this is the road to them having actual boss mechanics. Rugrat says, hey, good day, Void. Good day, all. Great to see you, Rugrat. Welcome in, buddy. Great to see you, man. So those are some game balancing and stuff. Now we have building and crafting, And I'm going to be fireballing these because we got 10 minutes until that event starts, guys. You're not going to want to miss this. Make sure you go log in over in Bloodhaven. It's going to be fun. We're going to have some really cool stories to tell for you guys, and leading into months-long adventures of seeking different artifacts and fun things that we got planned. Some really, really cool stuff. And soon, hashtag soon TM, hopefully the Festival of Realms will take place in Bloodhaven because the city is almost done now, thanks to our builders and collectors and all of that. So thank you guys for that. Building and crafting. All chests and storage containers have had their capacities increased. Maybe someone in chat can let us know how much they've been increased by, and their descriptions now clearly indicate how much they can store. The size of individual containers have also been tuned to better reflect the cost. So they're going to cost more, but they hold more now. Probably a good change overall. Each tier of storage now offers a small section of mass-producible container options rather than the single obvious choice. These containers are all larger than before. And our hope is that, combined with the increased size of the many components, this will make inventory management less of a headache for you. That's what we've needed for a long time. I've even said just like double, triple, quadruple the chest, boom, just full send. Like, what is the point? Other than trying to force you to get more plots, to have a plot just to store stuff, what's the reason of requiring me to have a wall of chests? Let me just put as much things as I need to in the chest, make them more expensive, and so be it, you know? Boomer says, scooting for the evening, be good. All right, Boomer. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Havoc says most chests from 35 up to 40 slots. So we got 5 more slots. That's not that much more, but it is welcomed. But I did hear that they are harder to make now. Let's see. The Griffin chest is now produced from a more appropriate material. At launch, it was unfortunately far too cheap and trivial to manufacture, but they're also bigger. They're huge. Like, no one's going to place that. So if that's more expensive and it gives you the same amount of storage, no one's really going to want to use that other than for just, again, the visual component of it. I think that the bigger chests should actually hold more. Increased stack sizes of various crafting components, most notably related to tailoring. So that's nice. Tailoring, leatherworking, bacon, and brewing are going to have larger stack sizes now. Processing crafters such as kilns and furnaces now have more sensible default sorting of recipes. That's good. Great to see that. Fixed an issue where door states were not replicated correctly and caused problems. Hopefully this is actually fixed, because the doors would be open and you wouldn't be able to see that the door was open, and or vice versa. Hey, Rugrat, thanks for the triple sleuth in chat. Can we get some brisket, guys? I think I need to get some brisket today. We need to get some briskets in chat. Havoc says the non-chest storage options are now way more viable. That's good. That's really, really good. I'm happy to hear that. Blimpy says it just means I have to top off my storage chests. Right? You can go back and fill more into them. What else do we got here? Fixed an issue where the long log beam connected one way, but not the other. So a little bit of a fix there. Fix an issue where crafting attempts getting stuck occasionally. I did, notice that. Grass through the water well, they fixed that. Inconsistent names for limestone walls and construction pieces, that's good. Tiered, so they fixed recipe tiers for parted, I forgot how you pronounce that. Chamois, that's what they said. Someone told me it's chamois meat. I don't know how you actually pronounce that. The bronze bar recipe now unlocks by default, or is now unlocked by default. That's good. New furniture. So we talked about the signs. We showed you guys all these new things. There's new window planters, tables, stools, shelves, candles. Really, really great stuff. This is honestly this is my favorite part about this. My absolute favorite part about it. Hey, Aussie Rugrat, thanks for the Prime sub over on Twitch. I appreciate that. Again, guys, if you do have a Twitch and you're not a follower of my Twitch, please go over there and follow me on Twitch. And if you're on Twitch and you have a YouTube, go and give me a sub over on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for that Prime, Rugrat. Really appreciate you. Bunch of user interface fixes and changes. You guys can read through these. I'm not going to touch on every single one of those, but there's a lot of stuff in with the UI changes, which is great to see. Art and visual fixed an issue with snag tree physics. So they fixed a bunch of physics and things like that, some visuals. What else is in here? The visual spell, the Sylvan spell is updated, so hopefully that will stop people from lagging out. That'll be good. Hammer now stays in hand while destroying a building, so little visual bugs and stuff like that. In-game shop, so this is the tokens. They added 2 new subscription tiers, so now you can have premium plus 6 plots or premium plus 8 plots. You can also get individual tokens on the web shop, in-game shop from Steam and Epic clients, and this will be added later to the Xbox game client as well. So you can now get, again, they're real quick to take your money on these things. They got this in so fast, even before this PvP update. The client no longer crashes when the Steam subscription purchase is canceled. That's good. And then they have a bunch of known issues here. So you guys can pause and skim over all of these known issues. Look at how long the known issues list is. We need to get those things fixed, guys. They need to get pumping on that. There's a ton. So when you're putting in those reports, make sure you guys check the known issues. Still put the reports in. Still let them know. Blimpy says, yeah, the snag trees next to my plot doesn't fly anymore. It's boring now. You liked when it was flying. But there's a ton of stuff in this patch. Some of it good, some of it questionable. If you guys are wanting to find these patch notes, you can find them over on playpaxday.com. That's where you can find all that. And let me know if there's any of these other topics that you guys want me to touch on. I know there's going to be this temporary event. We might be able to just touch on this really quick. I have about 5 minutes before that event has to start, but I'm not in the opening ceremony, so that's okay. But they say here, hello Paxians, Yule returns. So they're going to be doing this Yuletide event. It's limited time, full scale in-game event, which this is really exciting. Starting mid-December, with the exact date to be revealed soon, the festivities will run for an entire month. During that time, you'll have access to exclusive festive recipes, which you can craft those recipes and you can keep them forever. So make a crap ton of them, and then you can sell them, give them to people, and use them all year. You could place them down, pick them up and stuff. It's just, you just won't be able to make them anymore outside of this event. And let's see, what is this going to be? So they're going to reveal the exact date, #SoonTM. The event will last for 1 month. All recipes will appear directly in the journal. Just search for Yule, so they have Yule in the name. We're introducing 3 brand new recipes. They're going to have a little Yule goat, as you can see here. I love this. The cosmetics and things like that. I love to live in this world. I love to role play in this world. It's my favorite thing to do. I could care less about going to PvP and doing all that crazy stuff. Sure, we'll do it. We'll test it out, have fun. Yeah. We need weather. We need snow. We need seasons. We need all of this stuff so we can live in this world. And if I'm going to be paying monthly, if I'm going to be paying $50 a month to have this city of Bloodhaven in the game, I want to be immersed in the world. I want to role play and tell my stories and do all those things and not have to worry about people breaking into my house and ruining my events. And I want that space to be able to be fun and engaging for every single person. Havoc says most of the known issues are Lyonesse terrain issues. Oh, okay. That makes sense, to be honest. The ingredients can be traded and sold and all that stuff, but there's going to be an event coming, the Yule event. I'm really excited about that. It's going to be kind of cool. I'm looking forward to it. And then we'll show you the memberships really quick here. So you have your standard ones, and then you scroll over here. You have the 6, and this one is the 8. It's cut off a little bit because I don't have the full screen here, but you have premium 6 plots, $26.99, premium 8 plots, $34.99. And then down below, buy more tokens. 1 token, $4.99, 5 tokens, $22.49, 10 tokens, $42.49. Pretty expensive, but that's what we are working with, guys. We're going to be keeping a close eye on how this PvP update shapes out, and it's going to be interesting to see all of the changes there. But I'm really looking forward to this Yule stuff. This is right up my alley. This is right up a lot of people's alley, a lot of role players, a lot of people who like to just do the PvE side of things, and this is going to allow us to engage more with those systems. Let me know what you guys think about all of these updates and stuff. Share this with your friends so we can have conversations in the comments as well. Go into the comments over on YouTube. Leave a comment if you're seeing this in the future. Let me know what you guys think about the new PvP changes and the Yule event. I have one last thing I want to do here. I'm pretty sure that most people here already have the game, but I have a ton of keys and I want to give one away for you guys. So let me pull this up really quick. You go to my keys section. These are not founders packages. These are standard game packages. And I'm going to pop a key in chat. Let me know if this gets claimed. There you go. Popped it on there. I don't know if it goes over to, does it go over to Twitch as well? Can you see that on Twitch? There's a key to claim a free copy of PAX Day for you guys. I'm going to mark that I gave it away, gave on stream. So let me know if someone gets that key and redeems it. Give it to a friend. It is first come, first serve. It is redeemed through, it's going to be redeemed through Steam. So make sure you go over there, claim that. It is P5H65 5V2AC NJWTQ. You just copy paste that in there and good luck to you. Go get a free copy of PAX Day I'm going to put claimed ? On the end of it. So that way I can make sure that this one gets claimed. But let me know if you guys get that or if one of your friends gets it. I have a lot of keys to give away. It's been hard to give away copies of PAX Day. I have like a ton to give away. I'm going to be funneling those out to you guys during the live streams when I do PAX Day stuff. But we are having a lot of fun over at Ashes of Creation. It just came out yesterday. Hightail reservation starts tomorrow for pre-release, not pre-release, for pre-register. You can pre-order the game, and they have 3 different packages. We're going to be covering that stuff as well now that we have our YouTube channel back, and we're going to be going over all kinds of fun stuff with you guys regarding the games that we are supporting here. So I look forward to hearing from you guys in the future. Come on out to the event. It's starting right now. I'm going to be loading up as soon as I get out of here. I'm going to be loading up and going over there and having some fun at this storytelling event. I really hope to see you guys there. We have some really cool stories. I'm going to be telling a story from the Veil. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Come on over there and have some fun. Marshlow Gaming says, how come you don't stream PAX Day gameplay? There's just not really too much to show all that much anymore. It's mostly the same stuff, going and killing the same bosses, doing the same thing. I enjoy PAX Day, but there's a lot of other games out there that have been more warranting of my time. And that's why I've appointed Raslin the game lead for the community. He's kind of leading that all up. We're working very closely together still my clan, still my community and all that stuff. But I need more free time to be able to cover a lot of the other games that are coming out, because again, you got to remember, this is my full-time job, is running my YouTube channel here. It's monetized and afforded by my channel members and my patrons and stuff. So go on over my Patreon, support my work, and it'll allow me to do more things for more games as that grows. But there's just not too much to show anymore. I'm going to be doing some of the role play stuff. Like I'm going to be recording tonight's event and turning that into a nice role play thing. I have a lot of stories that are going to make their way up there, letters that were sent, and role play things, because that's the heart of the content for PAX Day for me. It really comes down to telling those stories in PAX Day. A lot of the gameplay features, they've always really been lagging behind, but the main gameplay for me is the role play. You can get so much out of it. Blimpy says, Hightail looks interesting, but I have so many games on my plate already. I know, that's my point, right? And that's why I'm assigning, game leads for different things as I see fit and whatnot, is to free up a little bit of my time to be able to engage with you guys more and show off more stuff in more avenues. But Hightail, I'm really excited for Hightail. I'm going to be doing a stream on that, introduction to Hightail, coming up very soon. So watch out for that. I'm going to talk all about the game, why I'm so excited about it, and I love games that are a platform. I love hosting servers for things, and Hightail, we're going to be able to host a private server for it, a cluster, and really bring to life our vision. All the things that we have for PAX Day, all of the gods and the deities and the divine and all of these different rituals and things that we do. In Hightail, you'll be able to make that a reality. We'll be able to actually program that in as a reality because it's a platform. Really, really rich lore is going to be coming over to Hightail. It's going to be a lot of fun. So watch out for that stream. Watch out for more Ashes of Creation streams and stuff like that. And I will see you guys in the next one. I got to run though, but I'm going to be over on Discord, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.